First of all, thank you for taking the time out and joining and accepting the invite. I'm sure we'll all learn a lot from you in this session. Uh, so, what we will do, Spandan, is as I generally do, we'll keep the session sort of divided in two parts. The first maybe 25 minutes will be between the two of us, where I have a few questions where I will try to get to know you more better as a trader. What's been your overall background? What have you been doing, and your experience, learnings, failures, everything. We'll sort of try and get a whole sense of you as a trader, and then we'll open it up for the audience round in the maybe after that initial 20-25 minute session. We'll open it up for the audience round, and we can take more questions as people would want to ask.
Done, done.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Excited.
Thank you, thank you. With that, so let me start by asking you, Spandan. I know you are you're from you're staying in Bombay. You have your own sort of a LLP where you manage a very large fund. Why don't you sort of introduce yourself to the people who have joined, and maybe give a little idea about what have you been doing, and what's your overall setup, just so that people know exactly what's the context of your trading framework.
Sure. So I started trading in 2014
Hmm.
when I was in around 10th or 11th. My father is an MBA in marketing, and he used to always watch this Ashwini Gujral and all shows in the on TV. And I used to get excited to see ki kya kar rahi, what is this analysis, and there's some sort of uh, kick in life when you are calculating some bet and you're getting to be proven right. That's what when you're going long and you get a profit. So there's some kick to it, and that stayed with me. So that, and obviously the money part was the main reason that attracted me and to this profession. And initial years were like everyone has the same routine where you are only focused on profit, and where you are comparing your profits with day-to-day expenses, and that's the whole spiral from there on, which I was in for almost 3 years, till my college, where my main plan was to go through an MBA and CFA and maybe do trading as a part-time job. But in third year I was giving my MBA exams, and I didn't score as good as I was expecting. And although I was getting some good colleges, but I was thinking if it's possible that trading can be done as a full time job. Still it's a little foreign concept. कि full time आपको trading करनी है. But living that's the benefit of living in a metro city, especially in Mumbai. uh, I I had, thanks to my father also now, because he knew some people who were already a full time traders. So I talked to them. I got to know the process. I got to believe that this is a profession that many people do. This is a career path that I can choose, and that's where I started uh, thinking of trading as a career and not a hobby. And I started learning. I started uh, memorizing concepts and understanding concepts के ये ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस करके कोई चीज होती है, फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस करके कोई चीज होती है. And of course now the good part was के I don't know, maybe being a Gujarati or something, the risk management was from start in my blood. So even when I didn't know what I was doing, I the risk was in check. So
Hmm.
actually I've never blown up an account since
Hmm.
since start of my journey. Touchwood, I've never blown my account. I have lost is I think 16 or 20% of capital in one day in Sun Pharma trade. I still remember, and
Hmm.
that too. Obviously, that same story that everyone has. I took a stop loss and then it reversed. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
from then, I started reading the technical analysis concept, the risk management concepts, and slowly I learned, okay, this is how you should do. You need to calculate. You need to set rules for something. Even if you're trading for discretionary, even if you're reading charts, the entries and exit needs to be properly defined. And if you're going to do trailing, when are you going to book? Everything needs to be defined, and practically, the decision making has to be done. All the decision making has to be done before you enter the trade. Everything has to be mapped out. कि ये होगा तो मैं क्या करूंगा, ये चीज होगी तो क्या करूंगा. Every scenario has to be mapped out, and that's how I started my journey. Then so far it's been pretty good. It's been pretty profitable. And later on, I was approached by some people on Twitter. Also, I was sharing my analysis on in those days. Okay, if you are willing to manage money, also that was never my plan. That was planned in my very far time in long term future. But many of the people approached. So then, when I was already in third year of engineering, so I said then, okay, I'm managing many things. So currently, it won't be possible. So I just started my LLP firm after as soon as I graduated. I graduated in March or June 2019, and I established the firm in July 2019. And then we started with a certain amount of capital, and then now it's been a good journey. It's been 2.5 years, and uh, a lot of things have been learned. Even I don't recognize myself that I was trading 2 years back. So it's a constant evolving process. I think it will be the same 2 years in the future also, because the markets are evolving and you need to change with it. So you need to be flexible and rigid at the same time. And it's been a very good journey. Touch wood, everything. I think I've been lucky that I had the correct path. I had a good, very, very good friends on Twitter who helped me. The trading community on Twitter is very helpful. अच्छी तरीके से वो आपको guide करते हैं. What steps you need to take, what steps you don't need to take, and it's been good. I hope through this session also I can replicate that and maybe help some of you beginners.
Absolutely, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic, very very interesting. So you are actually quite young, Spandar, right? 26. You're
I turned 26 in December. Last December.
wonderful,
So I'm
wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful. No, no, actually, and the part where you said, the fact that you had always had the risk management part sort of sorted out,
Correct.
that's actually very important because that's something which, the unfortunate part is risk management is something which actually people learn the last.
Huh.
So and after blowing up many accounts, and trust me, I was also very bad at risk management,
Huh.
almost in the initial part of my career, and of course have learnt it the hard way, but glad to see that you actually had the focus on risk management very early, and that sort of helped you. So
So
fantastic.
I think it's I think it's the nature of the people. So by nature I'm very conservative. So I have plan B, C, D, E, everything in place.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've always thought कि ये trade fail हो गया, इसके बाद ये वाले trade भी fail हो गए. Then what I will do, I have already planned. Now,
Hmm. Hmm.
believe it not, I currently have plans. If my AUM tomorrow goes to zero, तो भी मैं क्या करूँगा? I have planned. I am prepared for it.
Okay.
And maybe that's because of the profession, because trading teaches you that you have to be prepared for everything. But
Hmm.
that's very helpful in life also now. So
Hmm.
almost every scenario is mapped out. Okay, ये हुआ तो the major reason behind it is not to be shocked and be at least prepared के be at least stable in that scenario. Okay, उस situation में my EQ is stable and I'm making a proper mature logical decision.
Got it. Got it. So, Spandan, tell me and everyone that what exactly, like you, as you said, you have you have your own funds and you also manage other people's money. So, what in this fund, when you say you manage people's money, what exactly are you doing? As in, I'm not asking you the strategy, but
Huh.
what is the what type of trading that you're doing? As in, is it options? Is it futures? Is it cash? And within options, is it buying? Is it selling? What exactly is it that you do in this fund? And if you could give a little idea to people about it.
Right. So we started with equity trading, FNO, and FNO means options and futures and crude also. Uh, but lately through automations, we have mainly focused on option selling, index option sellings, mainly Bank Nifty, and the equity and the future models are also in place. They are modifying. They have been optimizing. So mainly we are focused on option selling currently, but this is the we are not rigid के सिर्फ यही करना है. We are open to option buying also, but frankly, I don't have the psychology to be an option buyer, and I don't think I will be a very good option buyer. मतलब मैं if my current if my capital is one, suppose for example my capital is 1 CR, मैं maybe मैं 2 या 5 लाख डाल पाऊंगा option buying में, उससे ज़्यादा डाल नहीं पाऊंगा मैं. Even though if I have a more than 60% hit ratio, option buying का psychology is very different, and mainly it's low hit ratio वाला psychology that you need to punch orders even though you are losing money. Order करते रहो, system पे believe करते रहो. It's so what I've done is I've chosen a very covered वाला path where I'm doing only non-direction. तो जहाँ पे मुझे profit मिलता रहे तो मैं शांति से trade कर पाऊँ. So ज़्यादा hardship देखनी ना पड़े. Option buying wala part is a difficult. So for even beginners, I will suggest कि I know capital की वजह से less capital requirement की वजह से people go to option buying, but it's a very tough job compared to option selling. So mainly we are focused on option selling, and obviously selling is also scalable. Also, you can do it on 200, 300, 400 crore fund also.
Got it. So tell me, sorry, I'm tempted to interject here. You said you you prefer doing non-directional, but even in option selling, I'm sure one can be directional, right? In option selling.
Correct. So there are two reasons over here. One thing is that if you're betting on direction, then option selling is the worst way to go for it. Obviously, because direction system should have unlimited potential, because hit ratio will be low. So any direction system, if there are suppose 100 trades, your 90 trades will set off one another and it will be net neutral, and that last 10 trades will be giving you the most return. So for a direction system, your upside should be unlimited. So option selling is not an ideal way to go through it. And other part is that direction system has a low hit ratio. Again, I said that it doesn't suit my psychology. 10 में से मैं at least I have to win more than 50%. So by default, going on a direction system, you are in a range of 50. If you have a good system, you are in a range of 50 to 60. But most of the system are below 50. Doesn't mean that's a bad system, but that's just how the nature of a direction system is.
Got it.
So you need to ask yourself these things. Are you comfortable with it? Can you do it for a long term? Are you going to burn out? So I think currently at my psychology, my stage of life, I'm not ready to explore that chapter low hit ratio wala system. Although it's obviously we are open to it. Never say no. But of course, direction system you need to understand is you will be having a streak of losses, and you have to be prepared for it also.
Right. Got it. And these option selling systems that you have, these are positional or only intraday?
Both intraday and positional. So positional systems, I've decreased the percentage of capital since last year, because post COVID, I felt the premiums and the volatility didn't match. The difference was quite big. The premiums were not the gaps were not able to. The premiums were not enough to sustain those gaps. So the most of the capital is now in intraday system.
Okay. Got it. So fine. And how's we always say that the way our mind works when trading with a small capital and the way our mind works when trading with big capital, I mean, it does definitely impacts us psychologically. So how was your experience? You manage from what you were telling me earlier, that you manage almost a 20 crore plus kind of a fund in your current LLP. So that's a sizable sum. So how do you sort of psychologically, how do you sort of attune yourself to dealing or to trading with such big capital? I mean, is there any changes you had to do in your thought process? Tell us a little about that.
So there's a very good loophole that I've always suggested everyone. Always have two accounts. One will be your main account where you will be adding additional capital and you will be scaling to the fullest, and one will be a capital small account, which will have both accounts will have the same trades, but the small account should be in the MTM should be in your range of expenses, or maybe that the MTM that you can handle. So one major difference, I think, which one major key that has helped me to scale easily is been I've never looked at the MTM of my whole fund. I've never
Hmm.
seen that in live market. I always check. I even don't know कि वो पूरा figure बनता कैसे है. I always calculate via reverse calculating using percentage. So I
Hmm.
only look at my small account. That's a 10 lakh account. I've kept that as a 10 lakh account since years now. वो same MTM में रोज देखता हूँ. And that's I think that's a pretty good loophole to scale. So वहाँ पे मैं उसमें भी मैं percentage की बात करता हूँ. So if
Hmm.
so I'm just thinking कि suppose 10 lakh अकाउंट में मुझे 20,000 का प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, तो मैं 2% का प्रॉफिट हो रहा होगा, तो वो पूरे फंड में भी 2% का प्रॉफिट हुआ रहेगा.
Hmm.
एंड मैं वो पूरे फंड का एमटीएम देखता भी नहीं हूँ. वो मुझे देखने का उसमें कोई इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है मुझे.
Hmm.
Because if I'm seeing a plus 40 lakh MTM, then I should be able to easily handle a minus 40 lakh MTM also, and I know I won't be able to. Okay,
Hmm.
so why to bother yourself with that? So that
Hmm.
I just make sure that all of the trades in the client's account are going well. There's no rejection or something. And the main issue with scalability is MTM only.
Hmm.
And that's if you remove that obstacle, it's very easy to scale. Not a big deal.
Got it. Got it. So you were in the tweet where we announced our space. You mentioned that you wanted to share some insights on how you sort of tried to achieve automation without having too much of a knowledge of coding. So I was quite interested to sort of hear more on that, and I thought during the space I'll ask you specifically on this point. So can you help us understand what exactly did you mean, and elaborate a little bit on what have you actually done?
Sure. So I think, see, most of the beginners, I think 90% of beginners who I think should be profitable traders, and they most probably fail because of not being able to handle, not being able to not being able to be disciplined, or due to excessively watching the live MTMs. So I think
Hmm.
that's the key reason. And if we shift that, if we can find that reason, that it's if being from discretionary, being from manually punching order to switching to an automating system,
Hmm.
it might help you a long way. Okay, so many, I think this should be a key thing for almost every beginner. Okay, once you have set the rules, you are doing the right thing, and you have a positive expenditure system, then automation should be your next step. Now, if you don't know coding, we are at a very uh, lucky stage in our market where there are many third party algo softwares. Okay, so
Hmm.
so if you are simply selling simply using a stock market based system, which is some percentage of stop losses on your options, or combined premium, or something like that, or some variation of stock market strategy, then you have unlimited options. There are many platforms. There is Algobaba, there is Quantiply, where you can go where we can go live with automation in one click. That's not a big
Hmm.
deal. Now, then there's the question of only discipline. Okay, you don't interfere with the system. Now, the other part is okay, when you have a little bit of complicated system, it's a price action based. Like our system is a bit of a price action based system. So what we
Hmm.
do is we are monitoring the index spot, and we are basically judging if the spot is trending or non-directional, and that's how our positions are being managed
Hmm.
dynamically throughout the day. So,
Hmm.
a little bit of complicated system for that. You have many coders who are ready to help for a certain quotation. So you can take help of that. If you can't find those coders, I have been using the Algobaba platform since almost a year now, year and a half.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I have to say I know the founder also. I almost talk to him every week, and I think from my experience, Algova is a very good platform which everyone you should try. And
Hmm.
for automating your a little complicated strategies, you can use Algobaba. So if you can ask them, okay, I have some strategies which are a little complicated in a stock market strategy, and these are the rules. Obviously, you have to share the rules. So if you say, okay, these are the rules of the system, I need to automate this system. They'll give you a quotation, and they'll hire a coder, and they'll link that coder. The coder will give you a code. Coder will maybe code it in Ami Broker, or maybe in TradingView. there are multiple platforms, but that doesn't bother you. That doesn't bother you, because what will happen is there are three parts. One is signal generation, where your logic is defined, and trade signals are generated. And another main part is the execution engine. So these two are linked by Alibaba itself. So there are many platforms like Excel, ME Broker, TradingView, Python, which can be used as a signal generation platform. So they will send a signal to Alibaba. The Alibaba platform is the execution engine. So it will take care of the execution part. So all you need to take care of is a signal generation part. So if you know somewhat of coding, so you can start with, if you really want to learn coding, you can start with TradingView. It's a far easier language to learn for a signal generation purpose. Okay, so the major obstacle in automating is the execution engine. Your execution has to be robust. There has to be there doesn't has to be there, do, there shouldn't be any loophole. You need to if you, there should be features like limit chasing, order slicing, and order punching. The multiple big size orders should be easily gone through it. So this execution engine part, you can use a third party software, which where comes the Algobaba. So now Algobaba is a company whose sole focus is on execution, their execution engine. So now this whole baggage of your mind is now shifted to Algobaba now. So you only need to take care of the signal generation part. The execution part will be taken care by Algobaba. So now they are catering to multiple clients. So they can't uh, excuse the language, but they can't shit the bed. So they have to do all the checks, and they will have a foolproof system. So this whole burden from is taken from your mind and is shifted to Algobaba. Now you only need to take care about the signal generation part. Now signal generation part, you can either self code it using AMI Broker. AMI Broker is a little difficult, but obviously if you self code it, then it's obviously better approach. But you can use Excel, you can use TradingView, you can use AMI Broker for a signal generation purpose. If you are not able to do it, code it yourself, you can ask the Algobaba team; they will also do it for you. So if you have any request, yeah, if you already have an AMI Broker subscription, you can say, okay, just please have the strategy coded into AMI Broker, and they'll use AMI Broker as a signal generation platform for Algobaba. So currently, what I have a Algobaba AMI Broker subscription. So my strategy is coded in AMI Broker, AFL.
Okay.
Okay, and that's how the signals are generated from the AFL, and the Algobaba is taking care of those signals, and it's executing the signals.
Okay.
So this is a basic loophole. The main crux of the execution system is that execution part should be taken care of. So that part you can shift to Algobaba, and you only need to take care about the signal generation part. So that's the easy part.
Okay. And how has been your experience? So far. I mean, have you ever faced any issue relating to any technical glitches or any latency or things that are typically sometimes associated with algos? I mean, what's been your experience?
So I initially started with another web-based platform. I'm forgetting the name. Over there were some issues, but in Stoxo, in Algobaba, I don't think I've never faced an issue. I maybe have faced an issue maybe once or twice in last 1.5 years. But there's never been an issue from Algobaba side.
Okay.
So maybe they can be issues from broker side, but that's now on your choice which broker you are choosing. Obviously, that API has to be stable. You can't go and try every new broker's API. So every new other broker is now coming with an API. Now I think ICICI is also coming with it. So they are developing it in house, I think. So so you can't have do trial and error with an API. So you should have a main account with maybe Zero. Zero is the best one, the most stable API. Obviously, there's some cost to it, but it's the perfect one. So you should have a main account with Zero. Then maybe you can do trial and error with other small brokers also based on the brokerage you're getting.
Got it. So while I continue with my questioning, I just want to make a quick announcement. If people have any questions, they can start just putting a request in, and I will keep taking questions. So if you have any questions, please just click on the request button, and I'll get your request for questions. So with that, I continue, but I hope people will start asking questions now. In fact, we just got the first guy in, so let me ask Tosh. Tosh, are you there?
Hey, yes. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, very much. Go ahead, ask a
Yeah,
question.
thanks for this space. I have a question for Spandan, a couple of them. So you mentioned that
Yeah,
you
sure.
run non-directional strategies, and at one point you also mentioned that you use price action on the spot chart. So can you please elaborate how both of them are related?
So you can maybe you can define it like without spilling all the beans. You can have a certain predefined price action pattern, something like doji pattern or a three
Okay.
white arrow, three black candles, something like that pattern, which can give you an idea if it's just you need to define it, okay, if it's trending or not trending. So that's the main decision that you need to take. So our main logic behind the whole algo is that you need to decide if the spot is trending or not trending. Then after that, the execution part is very easy. So I'll tell you, we'll start with selling straddle in the morning. And if suppose based on price action, suppose for example the spot is trading before a previous day's high or previous week's high, something like that. If it's touching the Bollinger Band, these are indicator based patterns. If it's suppose giving three green candles in a row, something like that. All of those are one and the same thing, just a different way of viewing it. So if suppose you define something, so you define K, now Bank Nifty is trending now, and suppose it's going up. So what we'll do is we'll start cutting our call legs calls leg essence from the saddle. So slowly and slowly we'll start cutting our C positions, and then suppose for example later on the Bank Nifty is now starting to go non-directional. Suppose it's not making a new highs continuously. So now what we'll do is we will now cut our previous put position and we'll now sell a new at the money saddle. So this is how we switch between the saddle and a direction, basically a losing leg cutting saddle. So we'll switch between saddle and directional option continuously throughout the whole day.
Okay, so like in simple terms, you use price action to make adjustments. Is that the right way to say it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and one more quick question. Thanks for answering that. One more quick question. You mentioned that you keep two accounts, one small account and one larger account, and you only focus on smaller account. How does that like actually help?
So see, as I'm managing more funds, so I get more. I get the scalability is a big issue, because if you are managing your own fund, you won't be able to scale from 50 lakh to direct 1.1 crore, 2 crore in one day. Okay, it will be based on your financial stability. So maybe if you can afford a 10 lakh trading account or a 50 lakh trading account, maybe you will have another 20 or 30 lakh or maybe 50 lakh in your bank account. So if you're okay with a good system, you are having confidence in your trading account, then maybe you will add 10 lakh, 20 lakh. So your trading account will increase from 50 to 60 to 70 to maybe 80, but it won't increase 2 or 3 times in overnight. Correct. But now when you are managing funds, so you get instant funds overnight if a new client is coming on board. Now this scalability, this creates a very big problem if I'm watching a big account, if I'm watching a 1 CR account, and suddenly overnight it changes to 1 CR to 3 CR account. My MTMs are now thrice the same value, thrice it was yesterday. So if I'm used to seeing 10,000 15,000 MTM, the very next day I won't be able to handle a 30,000 35,000 40,000 MTM. And by handle I'm meaning even positive and even a negative number. Even a positive number is not being able to handle. Okay, so many people, what happens, after punching a trade, they'll see a big MTM green number, and they'll say, okay, they'll compare it with their expenses. They'll compare it with their money story, their life of money story. So, for example, it maybe for some guy 1,000 or 10,000 may be a good MTM figure. It may be a great MTM figure. For the same guy, 20,000 may be a very big MTM figure. Now, someone who has been trading for a long time, who has a big fund, 20,000 will be peanuts. So that MTM figure shouldn't be a reason for booking or exiting a trade. So if your MTMs are constantly changing, what will happen? Your mind will play games with you. Okay, suppose this happens especially if you are doing a part-time trading. So you will compare your MTM with your salary, and suppose you say कि यार मेरे को 2 गुना मेरे salary का मुझे 1 घंटे में मिल रहा है, and you'll directly book it. But that may not be a good reason to book it. There should be a technical reason to exit your trade. The MTM figure should not be a reason to exit your trade. Because suppose आज के दिन में आपको अगर वो 2x figure 2 घंटे में मिल रहा है, if you scale it twice tomorrow, वो same figure आपको 1 घंटे में मिल जाएगा. Now that doesn't mean कि you need to close the trade. So it's better if you focus on one MTM only, कि जिस MTM से आप comfortable हो मैं उसी में रहता हूँ. So this urge won't come कि booking of trade या maybe closing the system या यार ये तो बहुत बड़ा loss हो गया है. I should close the system. I should cut the sales. And ये सब चीजें नहीं आएगी if you are watching the same MTM year and year. अब मैं सालों से वही 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 यही वाला MTM में रोज देख रहा हूँ. So now that figure is a daily thing for me. It's like looking at a wallpaper of my laptop. So that MTM figure doesn't bring emotions in me. वो चीज मैं रोज देख रहा हूँ. So ये जो decision making हो जाता है वो काफी easy रहता है. Because now I'm very stable. Now I'm not emotionally involved. So scalability or not scalability, आपको rule follow करना है तो it's a very good approach here, where you have a small account, you look at that account daily, and जो big account है वो अलग से scale हो रहा है.
I guess that's like a very, very good advice to deal with the psychological aspects of things.
Yeah.
Great.
Those were my 2 questions. Thanks, Gordon.
Thank you. Kulbhushan, hi. You want to go ahead? Next question.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Spandan. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
So, there is a 2 question. First thing, regarding non-directional trading systematic, how much percentage should be ideal for a yearly basis?
Return you are asking?
Yes.
See, this question, there's no right answer to this question. Believe me, even I asked the same question when I was started trading. A correct answer would be that the return should be in a ballpark range of your previous year's return.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect answer that I can give you. Okay, last year if you have earned, obviously in checking in mind the trading capital also. If you haven't scaled to a very large sum in a short span of time, the result should be at least in the ballpark range of your previous year or maybe better. That's I think the correct answer that I should give.
Okay, so as per your experience of trading since long, so I mean, this is something that ballpark coming near and there for the year wise.
Correct. So
Okay.
absolute number I shouldn't give and I won't give you. So जो मेरा last year का return था, whatever you ask yourself, जो मेरा last year का return था, I will manage that. And if it's your first year of trading, focus on getting more than FD return and build from that.
Got it. And second question is, as you said that you are doing back testing on ME Broker. So in terms of data and the back testing report, how much the percentage you will feel that okay, the accuracy it comes, because as you compare that now we have a web portals for doing the back testing like Stock Monk or some other, and ME Brokers. So I'm sure ME Broker quality would be better as compared to this web portal, but still the accuracy wise, ME Broker, how much accuracy you are getting in back testing?
No, I didn't understand. Accuracy meaning comparing the backtest result and the live result.
Yes.
So even a web portal wale system will have the good accuracy. That doesn't matter कि web से या any broker से. Your data that on which you are backtesting, that should be correct. So authorized vendors, if you buy a data, GDFL है and True Data है.
Global data feed है.
Correct. So if you are buying from a certified vendor, then the backtest should be in touch with your live performance also. Obviously, you need to take care of your finer things like tick data also. If your most people can't afford tick data. So one very good loophole over here is which I have applied also. Okay, if you are backtesting on a minute close basis, my live execution is also on minute close basis.
True.
So my live performance is in line with my backtest. So इसका एक plus point ये होता है कि most of the spikes are automatically let go. You are not caught in that because most of the spikes are in 10 second, 50 second, 13 second range. They'll just go to 100% rate and बाद में वो 10-15 second में वापस गिर जाएगा. So that won't be shown in a 1 minute data in your backtest. So instead of getting a more expensive tick data, unless until you're doing high frequency trading, it won't matter. So you just change your execution system and you execute on your 1 minute candle.
So if I understood correctly, as you said that you do the backtesting ME broker. So for backtesting, you need to buy the data, or ME broker itself have the options to buy the.
You need to buy a data. ME broker is just a platform. Same data से आप ME broker पे करो, Python में करो या online करो, that doesn't matter.
Okay. ME broker is just an.
Just because my system is a little bit complicated. It involves a little bit of coding. It's not a simple percentage वाला system. It's थोड़ा price action base पे है. So I need ME broker का coding.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, Spandana, for your time.
Thanks. Funny, you want to go ahead? Sorry. Funny. Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Can you join again? Maybe with a little better way. Sorry. In the meanwhile, I'll take the next question from Abhishek. Abhishek, you want to ask the next question?
Hello?
Yeah, Abhishek.
Hello?
Yes, Abhishek. Okay, Abhishek, I'm not sure if you're able to talk. Shubham, you're there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, why don't you ask the question? Go ahead.
Yes. यार ये मेरा सवाल था कि जैसे अपन ये बैक टेस्ट करते हैं तो मैं डाटा वेंडर से पूछा तो मेरे को बोला कि खाली फ्यूचर्स का मिलता है और मेरा जो ट्रेडिंग ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग सिस्टम है उसमें मेरे को ये ट्रेडिंग के चार्ट वगैरह का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता. मैं डायरेक्ट स्ट्राइक से करता हूँ जो भी मेरे को ट्रेड या एंटर या एग्जिट करना होता है. तो इसका कुछ बैक टेस्ट हो सकता है जो मैं स्ट्राइक बेस्ड सिस्टम रन करता हूँ.
तो आपका लॉन्ग सिग्नल है तो आप फ्यूचर की जगह एट द मनी कॉल बाय करो, समथिंग लाइक दैट.
नहीं वैसा नहीं सर. जैसे कि मेरे को ये सब नहीं जानना है बाय सेल. मतलब मैं जैसे ऑप्शन ट्रेड करता हूँ तो मैं स्टॉक ऑप्शन करता हूँ तो मेरे को सिर्फ मैं स्ट्राइक देख के ट्रेड करता हूँ. मैं फ्यूचर्स का या स्पॉट ट्रेडिंग का चार्ट ही नहीं देखता. ओनली स्ट्राइक. एसएल टारगेट सब स्ट्राइक में रहता है. तो मेरे को ये जानना है कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ ये बहुत टाइम से काम तो कर रहा है मेरे लिए. प्रॉफिट भी ठीक है, नेट टू नेट अप हूँ, पर इसका कुछ टेस्ट हो सकता है कि आगे काम करेगा कि नहीं करेगा.
मतलब अगर आप स्टॉक ऑप्शंस में आप ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो एक ब्लेटेंट एडवाइस दूं तो ये चीज आप स्केल नहीं कर पाओगे. तो बेटर टू स्विच टू फ्यूचर्स ट्रेडिंग या मे बी इक्विटी अगर आपका कैपिटल कम है.
मैं ना बैंक निफ्टी में कैपिटल तो ठीक है, मैं निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी ना सर मेरे से होता नहीं है. मेरे को स्टॉक ऑप्शन बढ़िया सूट कर रहा है.
हाँ, कोई देखो उसका इशू नहीं है. ऑप्शंस आपको सूट करे तो कोई इसका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
हाँ.
तो इशू इसके स्केलेबल नहीं होगा. मतलब आप अगर उसको अगर आपको ये चीज आपको आगे आगे 5 साल आगे 10 साल तक करनी है तो ये आप 5-10 करोड़ का नहीं कर पाओगे।
हाँ ये तो है, मतलब
आप ट्रेड नहीं कर पाओगे, एंट्री एंड एग्जिट आप नहीं ले पाओगे। द इंडियन मार्केट में स्टॉक ऑप्शंस आर नॉट लिक्विड।
तो सर लार्ज कैप में भी लिक्विडिटी नहीं रहता क्या? ठीक सर,
नहीं उतना नहीं है कि आप बड़े कैपिटल पे उसको फ्लुएंटली अंदर जाओ और तुरंत बाहर निकल पाओ विदाउट बिग स्लिपेजेस।
मैं कभी जैसे 20-30 हजार क्वांटिटी रहता है ना, तो मेरे को हल्का सा प्रॉब्लम फेस होता है।
हाँ, मैं आपको ये कह रहा हूँ कि इफ यू आर गोइंग टू स्केल बेटर अप्रोच, स्टॉक ऑप्शंस वाला तो आप स्केल नहीं कर पाओगे, ये गारंटी है। आगे जाके नहीं होगा, तो इट्स बेटर कि आप उसको उस आदत को अभी छोड़ दो, मतलब कि जस्ट फाइंड अ बेटर अप्रोच कि मे बी इक्विटी कर लीजिए या फिर फ्यूचर कर लीजिए।
पर सर टू बी ऑनेस्ट में बोलूँ ना, तो मैं बहुत सारा चीजें ट्राई किया, इंडेक्स ऑप्शन ये सब मेरे को ना सूट नहीं हुआ। और मेरे को स्टॉक ऑप्शन ऐसा है, मैं एक स्टॉक में लॉन्ग जाता हूँ, दूसरे सेक्टर का एक शॉर्ट, या कभी फ्यूचर रखता हूँ, तो क्या है मेरा एमटीएम उतना फ्लक्चुएट नहीं होता और मैं बाहर आ जाता हूँ नेट टू नेट अप।
So, अगर आपको एमटीएम फ्लक्चुएशन इतना नहीं चाहिए तो यू कैन चूज इक्विटी ना। इक्विटी विल बी हैव अ वेरी फ्यू
मैं
फ्लक्चुएशंस, साइज आपका उस पे कंट्रोल कर सकते हो। So that's a better. See, I'm saying कि ये प्रैक्टिस का the only downside of practice is कि वो अब गलत करते हो ना तो वो आदत पड़ जाती है।
हाँ,
so you need to start practice. You need to start practicing right things from the start. So अगर आप कोई स्पोर्ट खेल रहे हो या कोई अगर आप स्पोर्ट खेलते हो, अगर आप बैट अगर स्टार्टिंग से टेढ़े पकड़ोगे, आपका आदत पड़ जाएगा, तो वो लाइफ टाइम आप बैट फिर टेढ़ा का टेढ़ा ही पकड़ोगे। एंड फिर अब वो चीज आपको रणजी लेवल और आईपीएल लेवल या इंडिया के टीम लेवल पे आप नहीं कर पाओगे, तो आपको वो चेंज करना ही पड़ेगा। सो जस्ट प्रेफर टू डू राइट थिंग फ्रॉम स्टार्ट, क्योंकि वो आदत पड़ जाती है।
मतलब राइट थिंग मतलब मैं इंडेक्स ऑप्शन में ही करूँ।
राइट थिंग मतलब जो चीज स्केलेबल है वो करिए। मतलब ये कोई गलत नहीं है, बट इफ यू वांट टू स्केल, ऑब्वियसली यू वांट टू स्केल इन फ्यूचर ना। सो इस कैपिटल को आपको बढ़ाना है, तो बड़े कैपिटल पे आप स्टॉक ऑप्शंस करना इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट थिंग। मैनेज करना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है।
तो सर जैसे मैं इसमें फ्यूचर्स नहीं कर सकता, मेरे लिए ना अभी ऐसा लगता है ना कि होली ग्रेल मिल गया जब से मैं लॉन्ग शॉट करने लगा हूँ। सही बोलूँ तो मेरे को बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है।
शुभम जी,
हाँ बोलिए।
आप सॉरी जस्ट टू इंटरप्ट, आप अपना सवाल पूछिए। तो आपका एग्जैक्टली सवाल क्या है?
कि मेरे को वही जो मैं ऑप्शंस में जो कर रहा हूँ स्ट्राइक देख के, तो इसका कुछ है कि मैं बैक टेस्टेड में पता कर पाऊँ कि ये कब तक काम करेगा कि नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये रैंडम है। मैं स्ट्राइक से देख के कर रहा हूँ बहुत टाइम तक कि जो स्ट्राइक ऊपर जा रहा है या कोई लेवल तोड़ रहा है वो मैं बाय करता हूँ। ऑप्शन बाय, महंगा स्ट्राइक जो भी रहता है, और वो कर रहा है काम। 6-7 महीना हो गया है।
तो आप ये रैंडम चीज को जो अगर आपको किसी चीज को बैक टेस्ट करनी है तो आपको रैंडम वर्ड हटाना पड़ेगा अपने।
हाँ, रैंडम
जो भी चीज आप रैंडम कर रहे हो उसको रूल में कन्वर्ट कर दीजिए। इफ यू आर आप रैंडमली स्ट्राइक चूज कर रहे हो तो एक फिक्स रूल बना दीजिए कि एट द मनी स्ट्राइक ही बाय करोगे। एंड इफ यू आर गोइंग टू डू दैट, तो फिर वो चीज को आप बैक टेस्ट कर सकते हो कोडर को हायर करके, नॉट एन इशू।
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I think he has dropped off. Fine, no worries. So, Spandar, while the next question comes up, I actually had a question for you. So, in this journey of yours, I mean, although you have been trading now for 8 years and 3 years as a full time. So, in this journey, what has been your sort of, if I could ask you, experience or anything that sort of advice that you would want to give to other traders, other newbies or upcoming traders? What is some of the key lessons you have learned in this journey of yours so far?
Right. So one of the main issues with beginners are that they're not sharing it with the family. That's one of the main problems. So because this profession that we are doing is a very emotionally taxing profession, and drawdowns eventually aayenge. And that time you need your family support, your friend support. So one thing is that you need to share it with someone. It's preferable if it's family, because family will stay with you. They will help you in the times of drawdown. And then again, like I said, you need to practice right things from start. आप गलत आदतें स्टार्टिंग से लगाने लगोगे तो थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी आगे स्केल करने में, उसको छोड़ने में प्रॉब्लम आता है, डबल वर्क करना पड़ता है आपको। So starting say if you focus on building a rule based system, not going एकदम completely discretionary trading कि आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो, so that's starting से आप ये चीज पे focus करोगे तो that will have a very good compounding effect in the long term. And mainly I will say कि don't compare your daily expenses with your MTM कि ये MTM हो जाएगा तो ये चल जाएगा, ये निकल जाएगा, या ये मूवी का भाड़ा निकल जाएगा, something like that. That's not the right approach. So mainly just focus on staying in the game. Focus on singles. Don't try to hit sixes. Maybe once in a while आप कर दीजिए, lose ball मिले तो करिए. If I define it in a perfect trading term में, तो if you are seeing a perfect opportunity, तो उसमें भी आप risk आपका if you have got a once in a blue moon, something like a COVID वाला fall आ गया, उस टाइम में आपने शॉर्ट कर लिया, अच्छा करो, तो that's okay. But focus on singles only. Long term आप यहाँ पे टिके रहेंगे तो आप पैसा कमाओगे, no doubt about it. But if you are following the rules, and of course one thing is one basic rule is higher the time frame, the easier it gets. So if you are facing some difficulty in manually trading, of course, if you are facing difficulty in manually trading in a 5-minute time frame, so 15 minutes will always be easier for you. 1 hour will be more easier, daily will be more easier, and so on. So find the correct time frame which suits you. There is no one time frame fits all. मतलब हर एक को same चीज नहीं होगी. Many beginners are sometimes ask कि आप कौन सा time frame करते हो. 5 मिनट को 3 मिनट करो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. You need to be comfortable with that time frame. So 5 minutes. So you need to focus on the trading period. आपका trading holding period कितना था? 5 minute वाले में maybe it will be 10-15 minutes or 1 hour. Now same चीज अगर ये 15 minutes, ये if you feel कि ये चीज बहुत fast चल रही है, switch to 15 minutes, same rules apply करिए, and then the same trading holding period will be multiplied by 3 only. तो वो चीज में भी आपको थोड़ा कंफर्टेबल लगे कि यार मुझे एकदम लगातार स्क्रीन पे देखना नहीं पड़ रहा है. I can maybe calmly sit and analyze my trade. So that's a basic rule कि higher the time frame, easier it gets. And if you can afford, if you're going to go long, if you're going to go full-time trading, and if you can afford, always have a dealer or always have someone else place the order.
Yeah, Pratik, just hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
So so one of the major issues with trading is कि analysis काफी easily हो जाती है, लेकिन trading थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है because order place करना थोड़ा problem हो जाता है. Right. So if you have a dealer or you have automated system, तो काफी सारा आपका emotional burden गिर जाता है, तुरंत गिर जाता है. If you now like many people जो आपको follow करते हैं, तो obviously they must have seen कि आप काफी series and movies आप देख रहे हो, and आपके orders आपके जा चुके हैं, stoppers जा चुका है. That's way easier ना. आप लगातार उसको screen time, सही screen time के नाम पे आप उसको live MTM देखोगे तो that's not the right way. Live MTM fluctuation देखना is very dangerous to health. उसका कोई फायदा नहीं होता, कोई भी फायदा नहीं होता उसका. Screen time देखना है तो maybe try to focus on off market screen time, जहाँ पे कुछ हिल नहीं रहा है तब देखो screen time को. If you are comfortable with, you are learning from it, then maybe चलो move on to live market का screen time. But I honestly even that's not necessary. I feel के live changes, जो tick changes जो होते हैं, that's a very what do I say, very difficult thing to watch. वो जो changes होते हैं, क्योंकि वो जब हर चीज को आप एक previous second से आप compare करोगे कि मेरा profit अभी 100 रुपए था, अब मेरा 99 हो गया है, एक second पहले मेरा इतना था. And जब आप ये चीज देखोगे तो there will be a question in mind कि काश मैं बुक कर लेता पहले वाला.
Right.
And instead of controlling those emotion, वो emotion को आने ही मत दो. Just find a loophole जहाँ पे वो emotion आएगा नहीं. That's a better approach. जहाँ पे आपको emotion control करना is very difficult thing. वो emotion आया ही नहीं. Suppose now a little deviating from the topic, but a good loophole, a good example I will say from my side is कि मैं vegetarian हूँ. अब मेरे काफी सारे दोस्त बोलते हैं कि यार तूने कभी चिकन नहीं खाया, एक बार खा के देख, वो उसका टेस्ट जबरदस्त रहता है. Now जब मैंने कभी खाया ही नहीं, I don't know what I'm missing, and it doesn't matter to me. So मुझे वो चखना भी नहीं है. So अगर वो emotion मेरे पास था ही नहीं, सपोज जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन से वेज में कन्वर्ट हुआ है, उसके पास वो मेमोरी है, उसके पास वो इमोशन है, वो टेस्ट है, सो ही इज मिसिंग इट नाउ. तो अगर मेरे पास ऑप्शन है कि मैं उसको टेस्ट ही ना करूं जब मुझे करनी नहीं चीज, तो फिर that's way better approach than trying to emotionally control yourself. अगर मुझे मालूम है कि मुझे आगे जाके टोबैको कंज्यूम नहीं करना है, तो मैं कभी एक पफ भी मैं सिगरेट का लूंगा ही नहीं ना. क्या पता मुझे पसंद आ जाए. that will be more scarier.
Yeah. Interesting. Very nice thoughts. We have the next question from Pratik. Pratik, you want to ask?
Hello. Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So, hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my question to you, Spandan, is like, if you remember, on the month of June, there was the outrage of Cloudflare. So due to which, the two of the largest broker in India, like Zerodha and Upstocks, was down. And I had if I'm not wrong, it was at 11 a.m. It went down, and I had an entry at 11. It didn't execute it. Like before which I already entered 2 times, and there was a SL which was placed at exchanges. So irrespective of like brokers went down, will my SL walk?
No. So if your stop loss is already at broker side and broker का वो UI hang हो गया है, तो that's not an issue. वो आपका stop loss out हो जाएगा. And for just to have a backup, always have a small account. If you're suppose your main trading account is a 10 lakh account, then have a small account with a different broker, with a full-time broker for 50,000 or 20,000, and where you can do a reverse trade in such scenario. So ऑप्शन बाय करने जो रिवर्स ट्रेड आप करेगा वो बेसिकली बाय ट्रेड है. तो बाय ट्रेड के लिए वैसे भी आपको कैपिटल कम चाहिए. सो जस्ट हैव अ सेफ्टी ब्रोकर जो कोई दूसरा हो. Zerodha and Upstocks are in the same bucket. तो वो चीज मत करिए. If it's a part time broker, एक full time broker के साथ एक छोटा अकाउंट रख लीजिए, and you can in such scenario you can do a reverse trade.
Yes, got it. Sandeep, you want to ask the next question?
हाँ जी सर. हेलो सर, स्पंदन सर, नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार संदीप जी, बोलिए.
सर मुबारकबाद आज नए माइलस्टोन के लिए पहले तो आपको.
थैंक यू.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे कि रेडीमेड एल्गो ट्रेडिंग के लिए सोल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करने वाले मार्केट में हैं कुछ लोग, तो मैं किस पे कितना को विश्वास करूं, क्या पैरामीटर हैं जिनके बेसिस पे मैं मतलब एल्गो ट्रेडिंग के जो सोल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं रेडीमेड, उन पे कंपेयर करने के लिए कौन से पैरामीटर उनसे पूछूं, या क्योंकि मैं अगर बड़ी कैपिटल डिप्लॉय करना चाह रहा हूं, मैं किसी के भरोसे करने जा रहा हूं, किसी मतलब रेडीमेड जो एल्गो ट्रेडिंग के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तो मेरे को क्या क्या चेक करना जरूरी है सर?
Right. So see, I see Ankit also in the listening while I start. So you see, Ankit, I asked the same thing to Ankit also, and Ankit said to me कि हम सब मिलके सब एक ही चीज कर रहे हैं, बस ऊपर नीचे का चीज कर रहे हैं. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि कुछ आपने बहुत खास कर लिया तो ऐसा नहीं है. तो बेसिकली सेम चीजें कर रहे हैं. So now अगर जो ट्रस्ट फैक्टर जो आपको आ रहा है, वन बेसिक सोल्यूशन है कि अगर आपको ट्रस्ट फैक्टर आए तो यू नीड टू लर्न कोडिंग योरसेल्फ. अगर आप खुद कोड कर लोगे, बाहर वो इन्फॉर्मेशन जाएगी नहीं, नॉट अ बिग डील. बट नाउ इफ यू हैव अ ट्रस्ट फैक्टर, देन मे बी ऑन वर्ड ऑफ माउथ के साथ आप किसी के पास जाइए, एंड मे बी उनके थ्रू आप वो कोडर्स को आप हायर कीजिए अपने कोडिंग ऑटोमेट करने के लिए. लाइक विशाल मेहता करता है. he has a team of coders जो आपके लिए बैकटेस्ट भी करते हैं, मैंने उनसे करवाया भी है. So now maybe you can trust Vishal. So he's a very good guy, and obviously he won't share your strategy with others. So ये किसी का already experience रहेगा, उनसे आप बात करके रखेंगे, तो maybe that will be a good solution.
Yes, got it. Tanuj, you want to ask the next question?
Yeah. हेलो स्पंदन सर. आपका वो एनालॉजी मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, द इमोशंस, द साइकोलॉजी पार्ट ऑफ वेज एंड नॉन वेज, दैट रियली इज मींस लाइक इट्स ए हाईलाइटिंग थिंग. मतलब ऑब्वियसली जिसका टेस्ट ही नहीं है आपको, आप उसके लिए तरसोगे.
करेक्ट.
the thing is too much relatable. And अगर हम जितना इमोशनलेस होंगे मार्केट्स में, जैसा कि मैं समझ पाया हूँ अभी तक मार्केट को 2-3 सालों में, कि ट्रेडिंग इज 99% साइकोलॉजी एंड 1% रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स, मतलब एनालिसिस, जो भी आप बोल लो, कुछ भी बोल, ठीक है ना. अगर आपकी साइकोलॉजी ठीक है तो यू कैन मेक इट बिग. साइकोलॉजी मीन्स आई मीन इट रियली द नीडेड साइकोलॉजी, नॉट the medium average psychology. Okay, so sir, I wanted to ask you one thing related to the technical part. Ki, sir, what you obviously do algo trading, so whatever strategy you have based on whatever system you have, like indicators or price action or whatsoever, so like you do the coding all by yourself or you have a team?
So I've currently I'm learning coding, and in past I have hired coders on contract basis.
Okay, sir. And sir, the next thing is that sir, agar ek newbie, means like newbie in the algo trading, not in the trading part, means like who doesn't have any knowledge whatsoever कि कैसे ये algo trading work करता है, and like whatever the things from A to Z of this, ठीक है, वो अगर अप्रोच करना चाहे, ठीक है, टू मीन्स लाइक, अब आप देखिए, मीन्स लाइक व्हेन द मार्केट इज बुलिश, देन एवरी डे देयर आर सम सेक्टर्स, एंड सेक्टर्स के भी सब सेक्टर्स. जैसे आज अगर सीमेंट स्टॉक्स चल रहे हैं तो काफी बड़े बड़े नाम वाले सीमेंट स्टॉक्स चलेंगे, जैसे मतलब अल्ट्राटेक चल जाएगा या समथिंग लाइक दैट. कल पेपर स्टॉक्स चल रहे हैं तो वेस्ट कोस्ट पेपर चल जाएगा या कुछ समथिंग लाइक दैट. ठीक है, ये सब सेक्टर्स हो, या मीन्स कभी कभी पूरा सेक्टर ही चलता है. जैसे एफएमसीजी चल रहा है तो एफएमसीजी के सारे चल रहे हैं, ऑटो चल रहे हैं तो टेक महिंद्रा, टीवीएस मोटर सब चल रहा है, सॉरी महिंद्रा मोटर, टीवीएस मोटर, टाटा मोटर सब चल रहा है. तो माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि सर कल कौन सा सेक्टर चलने वाला है या कौन सा सब सेक्टर चलने वाला है, ठीक है नहीं, हाउ टू फाइंड दैट आउट यूजिंग एल्गो, और इज देयर एनी सिस्टम बिहाइंड दैट कि हम लोग उसको फाइंड कर सकते हैं कि कल कौन सा सिस्टम चलने वाला है, नॉट आफ्टर वो चल गया है उसके बाद.
करेक्ट. सो आई विल आंसर योर क्वेश्चन इन टू पार्ट्स. फर्स्ट पार्ट के चल रहा है जो आप डिफाइन कर रहे हो, वो चल रहा है का टाइम पीरियड काफी बड़ा होता है. वो चल रहा है इज नॉट फॉर हाफ एन आवर, के चल गया और मालूम भी नहीं पड़ा. तो अगर कोई सेक्टर चलने वाला है, सो यू विल सी अर्ली साइंस जहाँ पे उसके 2-3 जो सेक्टर के जो स्टॉक्स है या मे बी जो बड़े स्टॉक्स है वो आपको टॉप 5 गेनर्स में दिख रहे हैं कंसेक्यूटिवली. अनदर थिंग इज के वो सेक्टर को आप बेसिकली उसका एक लाइन चार्ट भी आप ड्रॉ करोगे, बाकी सेक्टर से कंपेयर करोगे, तो यू विल स्टार्ट टू सी सम डाइवर्जेंस जहाँ पे वो दिख रहा है कि उसका रेट ऑफ चेंज इज अ लिटिल बिगर, वो थोड़ा पॉजिटिव साइड में चल रहा है. सो सेक्टर बुलिश सेक्टर डिफाइन करना इज नॉट अ वेरी बिग डील. वेरी इजीली आप डिफाइन कर सकते हो. अभी के अभी मैं 2 मिनट में भी अगर मैं चार्ट सारे करूँ, हर सेक्टर का मैं चार्ट लाइन चार्ट में ड्रॉ कंपेयर कर लूँ, इस सब्जेक्ट जो सबसे ऊपर वाला लाइन है वो बुलिश है. दैट्स द सेम थिंग. सो इन डायरेक्शनल ट्रेडिंग आप टॉप एंड बॉटम तो कैप्चर नहीं कर पाओगे, सो आपको मिडिल पार्ट पे ही फोकस करना है. सो ना वो एंड कब होगा वो हमें पता नहीं है. तो यूजुअली व्हाट हैपेंस कि जब वो एंड होके जो सी कर्व बन रहा है, जब वो गिरना चालू हुआ, तब आपके मोस्ट ऑफ द एग्जिट आएंगे. तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आप वो मीडियम जो बीच का पार्ट है आप वही कैप्चर करने वाले हो. सो डोंट फोकस ऑन ये कि वो चले उससे पहले मुझे मालूम पड़ जाए. ये चीज आई डोंट थिंक पॉसिबल है. And now if you want to see do a positional trading, then what you are saying कि जो सेक्टर चल रहा है, कौन सा सेक्टर बुलिश है एंड कौन सा सेक्टर ये बेरिश है, ये दिस इज बेसिकली अ टॉप डाउन अप्रोच. अब ये चीज इज व्हेन यू आर डूइंग अ पोजिशनल ट्रेडिंग जहाँ पे आपका टाइम का कोई कंस्ट्रेंट नहीं है, वो आपका होल्डिंग पीरियड जब तक स्टॉक आपका जो होल्डिंग चल रहा है आपका ट्रेड में फेवर में चल रहा है, यू कैन होल्ड इट. सो इफ योर होल्डिंग पीरियड इज नॉट टाइम बाउंड, then top down approach करना is not necessary. Bottom up approach भी आप कर सकते हो. You can find a bullish stock in a bearish sector also, and just because आपका कोई टाइम का लिमिट नहीं है, कोई इंट्राडे नहीं है कि आपको 3:30 तक वो फिनिश करना है. So you can hold it and maybe वो if you are maybe doing some value investing या आप उसको bottom उसका आप वो try कर रहे हो कैप्चर करने का, then top down approach is not the right approach. Bottom up approach you can do it as an option, and maybe you will get better risk to reward in a bottom down approach for positional trading.
Yes, got it. Diligent trader You want to
Yes,
ask a
sir.
question?
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask a question that lately I've been today what I experienced. Although I have extra cash in my account, then also I experienced shortfall of margin. Today Vishal sir also tweeted about this that lately he's experiencing this order rejection because of margin shortfall. One of my account, which is of around 8 or 9 lakh rupees, the margin requirement for that account is almost 8 lakh. I keep almost 10 lakh rupees in that account. Then also I got margin call. So what you do in this scenario? What can I do to help myself?
See, so I got this margin error last to last expiry also, and this margin calculation wala part they have shown the exact formula on NSE. मेरे पल्ले नहीं पड़ा वो उसमें काफी सारा अच्छा खासा मैथ्स था वो मे बी अंकित बता पाएगा. Anyway, I usually keep around 10% plus margin. अगर 2 लाख है तो मैं 2.2 रखता हूँ extra. Using that formula मेरा last to last expiry margin error आया ही था. But since last two expiries and आज की expiry में there was not an issue. I increased that 15% buffer to 20 to 25% buffer. So that should be enough for the intermediate fluctuation of margin.
Okay. So I also had almost 15% extra margin, but I don't know. Today drastically the margin increased. Whether it was due to
हाँ,
gap
तो
up or
yes, वो risk and वो volatility का कोई factor है जिसके
yeah,
ऊपर वो margin increase and decrease करते हैं.
okay.
But if you are keeping a 15-20% buffer आप रख रहे हो ना, that
Yes.
shouldn't matter. That shouldn't be an issue. अब वो इतना बड़ा change नहीं आएगा.
Okay. Sir, I had one more question. I had a question about curve fitting of strategy. Like I tried to make my strategies simple, strategies which are easy to execute and which are not much complicated, because I want to avoid curve fitting. Can you throw some light on curve fitting, how to avoid it, and what are disadvantages of doing that?
So one of the clear signals of curve fitting is if you are after first backtest report, if you are adding one more indicator and then one more indicator, then it's clear sign of curve fitting. Okay. Another thing is you should Google in sample out sample theory. So what you need to do is for example after backtest में 1000 trades है. So you need to compare the previous 750 trades to the latest 250 trades. 75-25% का ratio मैं करता हूँ. You can do whatever you want. बट अराउंड जो मेजर पार्ट है वो आप इन सैंपल में रखिए. इन सैंपल मतलब जो पुराना वाला पार्ट है, जो पुराने ट्रेड्स है. सो सपोज आप 4 साल का बैक टेस्ट कर रहे हो तो पुराना जो 3 साल है दैट विल बी योर इन सैंपल. तो एंड जो लेटेस्ट 1 ईयर का जो डेटा है दैट विल बी आउट सैंपल. सो व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज कि आप जो एक्सपेरिमेंट है जो भी आप कर रहे हो वो आप प्रीवियस 3 इयर्स पे ही करोगे आप. सो फॉर एग्जांपल आप 2018, 19, 20 और 21 का बैक टेस्ट कर रहे हो तो 2018, 19 and 20 के डेटा पे you will do all the experimenting and then you will check if that hypothesis कि ये मैंने ये rule change किया और ये 3 साल में profit मेरा बढ़ गया था या मेरा expectancy बढ़ गया था. Now ये same rule change करके 2021 के डेटा में same result आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा. If it's not coming then it's clear case of कि वो curve fitting है.
Sure.
So this
means I have to modify. Yeah, I have to.
So basically what you are doing is कि you are basically टाइम ट्रैवल कर रहे हो. आप 1 साल पहले जा रहे हो एंड आप देख रहे हो कि मैंने 1 साल पहले मैंने ये स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई होती एंड मैं लाइव गया होता तो मेरा क्या हाल होता.
अच्छा. Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you. So Spandan, what we'll do is we'll take the last question for the day. I think we are almost at the end of our time. So we have one last question from Pawan. Pawan, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Spandan. I would like to know something with the difference in chat and the OI data. It's been just some 2-3 months I've been following chat and data, and screen time मेरा इतना ही है. It's not been more. तो ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभार प्राइस मूव होता है and later it is followed by OI, change in OI or PEC difference. I am following trader ticker tape for that data. So I just want to know, do we have anything to track this? या फिर कौन से side जाएगा? As in chat will follow the data or data is eventually going to follow the chat? And mostly observation is like data will follow chat as far as I know. अभी तक शायद out of 10 cases 6 से 7 बार ऐसा हुआ है, but is it true all the time or can we have do we have something to know that क्या हो सकता है as in
so first of all आपको iCharts करके एक वेबसाइट है, that's it's a very pretty good website to observe the PCR values, the OI, live OI changes, ये सब काफी अच्छे उनके चार्ट्स लाइव अपडेट होते रहते हैं, so that's a good website ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए. Another thing is कि when if you are looking at a very extreme case जहाँ पे OI clearly, I will speak in terms of PCR. Okay, PCR is basically वो एक ही स्ट्राइक का पुट का OI कितना है डिवाइड बाय कॉल का OI कितना है. Okay, so suppose PCR का रेशियो इज वेरी स्मॉल, बहुत ही छोटा दिख रहा है, मतलब बेसिकली पुट का OI is very small compared to call के OIs. Okay, so in those extreme cases it's a very good bet कि वो स्ट्राइक का कॉल प्राइस ऑप्शन 0 हो गई होगा. बट अगर आप ये OI वाला डेटा एट द मनी में आप कंपेयर करोगे तो वो कभी भी चेंज हो सकता है. सो वहां पे थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है जज करना कि डेटा पे आप वो प्राइस वैसा ही जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा. सो इन एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल्स अगर आप उसको थोड़ा दूर लेके जाओगे तो then it's it can give you a good signal for a short period of time, but वो डेटा भी जैसे ही प्राइस चेंज होता है वो डेटा भी तुरंत चेंज होने लगता है. So a good way to a good approach will be कि आप वो डेटा के साथ साथ प्राइस को भी मैच करिए, दोनों सिग्नल दे रहे तो ही आप जाइए.
ओके मेरा एक्चुअली टाइम फ्रेम 5 मिनट का है, as in 5 मिनट for stocks and 3 minutes for index. So in between का जो मूव रहता है, छोटा मूव जो in between रहता है, not the large move from start to end या फिर mid of the day का जो मूव होता है वो inline बैठता है दोनों, पर in between के जो swings रहते हैं that will not match the data. तो that is something which confuses me and थोड़े traders wrong जा रहे हैं मेरे in that case, which it's more of my जो भी है capital or profit.
हाँ, so वही I'm saying कि just have 2-3 चेकलिस्ट रखिए, सिर्फ एक पे मत रखिए, एक पे मत टिकिए. अगर 2-3 चेकलिस्ट रहेंगे तो उस बेसिस पे थोड़ा आपका जो बेसिकली फेक ट्रेड्स है, जो क्लियर ऑब्वियस ट्रेड्स है कि कंफ्यूजन वाले ट्रेड्स है, वो निकल जाएंगे.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Great. So Spandan, I think we'll wrap it up for the day, but I just wanted to thank you for being so open and transparent and enthusiastically answering all the questions. It was really nice and a lot of insights on algorithmic trading and risk management and your overall disciplined approach. So really nice. It was really nice hearing you, and I wish you continue to scale more heights, and all the best to you.
Thank you. I hope I was able to justify your time. And thank you for the listeners also. You for giving me your time. I hope I was worth it.
No, absolutely. I'm sure. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone, and have a great trading day tomorrow and a great week ahead.